others' doings. It's sort of an Omar kind of situation.
Yeah, I think it was Whitey Bulger was like famous for like flipping his rivals or whatever.
Yeah, Whitey Bulger was an informant for like 30 years or whatever. So
yeah.
But so they're gonna go try and track down Hot Rod. Miller's got a couple of places that he thinks he could be. While that's happening, Boyd is finally going to visit Ava in the state pen. And they have a little bit of a conversation where Ava basically tells him, hey, someone's going to come and visit you. You need to give her what she wants. Don't ask any questions. like it's very transactional for Ava. Like Boyd's trying to be all, oh, it's so good to see you and blah, blah, blah. And she's just like, hey, look, I need something. And she's going to come and approach you and you need to give it to her. Don't tell her no.
Yeah. That's the beginning of the end.
Yeah. Well, yeah. It's been over for a while, but yeah. So, it's interesting. Everybody's having conversations about the future in this episode. That's one of the kind of, except for Raylan and Miller, they're very much stuck in the present. But Wendy and Kendall have a conversation about their future and her plans. And her plan is once this big score comes in, once whatever they're doing in Mexico is resolved, we're going to get away from all this. And she's promising Kendall that they're going to get away from all this. They're going to go and they're going to move somewhere else and they're going to be away from the other Crows and all their nonsense. And then Daryl at the same time is promising Wendy, hey, we're going to get rich and you need to hang in there with us. You can't just take off. So he's trying to convince Wendy to stay and be part of their criminal enterprise with him, which is interesting because why would he want to share it further? And what purpose is Wendy serving? I'm not even sure at this point, but
yeah, it doesn't make sense. I mean, I guess she would, what would she do? Like go become a criminal in the real sense, or
I mean, was she just going to be an advisor, like I'll be your criminal mentor and tell you if something you're doing is really stupid. If they had roles like that, if they had consultant roles, that's what I would be doing for a living. Yeah, you don't want to do that. That's really dumb. You should do this instead. Yeah. I'm not going to do it, but I'll help you figure out how. So you've got all these people talking about the future. Wynn and Picker are talking about the future and whether or not their future involves an additional partner that they weren't expecting. Picker just wants to be rid of his Harlan County problem entirely. Wynn's a little more patient and understands that you need these people on the ground to be able to get an effective distribution done because nobody knows where anything is in Harlan except for these locals. And as promised, and at some point here also in the middle of all of this, Raylan and Miller head to one of Hot Rod's warehouses where they find Jay and Roscoe. And Wood Harris and what's his name?
His brother.
Why can't I? Steve Harris and Wood Harris. And they question Jay and Roscoe. They claim they don't know where Hot Rod is, and they certainly don't know that Hot Rod's crew has been executed in Mexico and all the drugs have been, made off with. Yeah. So they leave Miller's partner, Agent Henkins, on Jay and Roscoe, and they go to check out another spot where Miller thinks he might be. While Agent Henkins is there, excuse me. While Agent Henkins is there, Jay and Roscoe are talking to him. They agitate him to the point where he feels compelled to tell them, your men are all dead in Mexico and they made off with your drugs. So ha ha ha. And that inspires Jay and Roscoe to basically beat his ass. So they hit him, knock him down, disarm him, get themselves out of handcuffs, and call the guy holding Hot Rod hostage and say, hey, you need to get Boyd's location from him ASAP because Miller's on his way to you. And the guy has Hot Rod tied to a chair and beats Boyd's location out of him. And he offers to draw him a map, and we'll get back to that momentarily. But in between all that, Rowena comes to visit Boyd, and they have a little bit of a conversation, and she needs a pretty big favor, and I've got a clip of that.
It's a long way out of my routine to get down here, which means it's a long way home, so it's best we just get down to brass tacks.
Very well then. Caleb, please. Whatever you need, I'm at your disposal.
Simple. Once a week, you get me 100 grams, pure as you can. I take a cut, give the rest to your woman.
Ava wants heroin.
Guess you weren't expecting that, huh? Your girl's fit and take care of herself. But first, you gotta take care of me.
Well, what did you have in mind?
I had a partner, a woman named Vernon. Worked with me at the jail, helped me bring shit inside. She was murdered. A man set fire to her house in the middle of the night and let her burn inside. You gonna get me my retribution. Look, I know what I'm asking ain't easy.
It ain't that so much. It sounds like this fella has it coming. It just bothers me that I don't know you. And you know a hell of a lot more about what my fiance's doing than I do.
Well, all you need to know, you want your woman to be safe. This is what has to happen.
Yeah. So I'm not sure Ava knew that that Rowena was going to ask Boyd to do murder for her. She probably, I mean, it's not outside the realm of possibility, right? That was what she was going to ask as a favor. But, but I mean, it's pretty bold-faced to sit down with a guy who you just met and basically say, hey, yeah, I need you to kill this dude for me.
It's not like, oh, she's asking him to watch her fish or something.
Right.
Like that,
Yeah,
fish
exactly.
tank or whatever.
And Boyd's very taken aback by this. I think less because he gives a shit about killing just some random dude. Boyd's not Boyd doesn't like to kill people if he doesn't have to, but he will if it benefits him. Yeah. But he's more taken aback by the fact that Ava has the balls to send this person to him without warning him that she's going to be asking for him to do a murder. That I think is what's more taken him aback, and why he says, boy, I can't. It bothers me that my fiance's in there doing this stuff and I don't know anything about it, and you know more about it than I do. So
yeah, you think you got maybe a whiff of I'm being set up also,
absolutely it felt like that, right? I mean, the stranger comes, like, okay, if it were anybody other than Ava, his spider sense would have been going off. Absolutely. I would think so. Yeah, we'll see. But I mean, let's wrap up this stupid story, because there's not much that we need to deal with here. There's Boyd goes to the nursing home where this guy Elmont is, this guy who she wants killed. He's ornery. he's got his gun under his pillow, so he's lying in wait for Boyd to come. He figured that at some point somebody was going to come after him for what he did, and so he's all prepared. Boyd essentially makes him an offer he can't refuse. He says, "Hey, I'm going to give you some money. We're going to take you out of here. We're going to take you somewhere else. You just got to disappear and never make another noise, and you'll live a better life than you ever dreamed you could possibly live." And the guy sort of agrees to it. He's skeptical, but Boyd eventually goes and picks him up at the nursing home, gives him some cash. The guy's feeling pretty good. Jimmy's in the back seat, though, and when Boyd pulls over to the side of the road to take a leak, Jimmy garrotes him. So he
Godfather style.
Oh yeah. Take the gun, leave the cannoli. Or vice versa. Leave the gun, take the cannoli. So that's what happens there. Elmont is dead. And then of course, what happens is that Rowena tells Ava, hey, look, your man did everything he was supposed to do, but I'm changing the deal because I'm a bad partner. And now you need to kill the Heavenly Mother, too. So
just keep on digging that hole.
Yeah, seriously.
Yeah.
We just want a nice stack of bodies to hang on Ava here.
Yeah.
So it's so dumb. Like, it's so dumb, and it happens so fast. It's like days, like not even days. It's like it's not even a couple of days. It's like a day and a half. All this happens. Like, she makes the arrangements with the doctor in the hospital. The doctor in the hospital drives to freaking Harlan to meet Boyd. Boyd visits the guy in the nursing home, then goes and picks him up the next day, then strangles him. Then Ava gets another appointment to talk to the doctor at the prison. I mean, it's implausible that this would happen this fast.
I just, the idea of Boyd selling the guy, like, oh, I'll give you all the money you want.
Oh, yeah.
When he, he's been fearing, like, somebody showing up to get him,
right,
for however long,
yeah, and the guy buying it, right? I mean, that's the thing. That's so funny about it.
Yeah.
And like, you got to wonder, if you're that guy, you got to be thinking to yourself, okay, wait a minute, why is he making me this offer? What is in it for him? So clearly, he's not afraid of me and my gun, because he's not.
Yeah.
He never even takes a step back when the gun gets pulled out. Yeah. So what's he really up to here? But the guy, Boyd is relatively convincing, I suppose, when you're not the omniscient audience and you can't, you don't know what his intentions are. But
I guess. I mean, like, he has sold, like, remember going back to season 2, he did sell like Who Should Be Sheriff, or showed up Mags Bennett way back then. So
Speaking of Mags Bennett, she's you haven't seen Cocaine Bear yet, have you?
No, not yet.
Yeah, see, I saw it. I saw it the night it came out. I saw it the day it came out, and Mags Bennett's in it, and she's fantastic.
Okay, all right.
She plays a park ranger, but she is obsessed with this guy who's like a wildlife expert who sometimes comes to the park, and she's trying to seduce him. And so she's putting on makeup and perfume. It's wonderful. It's wonderful. It's very, very well done. And Margot Martindale is a national treasure as far as I'm concerned. So.
That's perfect casting, because she looks very much like probably every park ranger female park ranger.
Yeah, it's dead on perfect. It's dead on perfect casting.
All right. I'll take a check that.
She's really good in it.
I wonder how long that movie. I have to see it, like, maybe sometime soon before it gets like.
Yeah, it probably won't be in theaters too much longer. I would think probably only another few weeks before it's.
Yeah, I'll have to make a point to get to it before. Maybe I'll try and I'll try and do it while I'm on away.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
And we will, of course, for the listeners, those of you still listening to our little sidebar there, we're going to have an episode devoted to Cocaine Bear coming up here after the season finale of season 5. So between season 5 and season 6, we'll have Cocaine Bear podcast for you. We'll be recording as soon as we can when Randy sees it, and we have a little bit of time to sit down and record. So it'll be our first sort of current film full podcast. We've done a couple like quick recap style podcasts with Top Gun and The Matrix and those sorts of movies, but we haven't done like a full on, okay, let's talk about this movie podcast for a current movie. Like, we've done them for Jackie Brown and Get Shorty and those, but those are 20 years old. So it'll be interesting. A little bit of a different format, and maybe a little bit of a sneak peek and preview as to what some of the stuff we're going to try and do for our City Primeval podcast. So,
yep.
All right. So that's the Rowena Boyd Ava storyline. So we'll wrap that up, and then we've got Carl, Dewey, and Danny coming back with the drugs. We've got Raylan and Miller, they're going to another location to find Hot Rod. And then we've got Daryl